This week's Devar Torah is Parshat Naso, brought to you by Be There Israel and Or Chadash. So in Parshat Naso is the explanation of a Nazirite, a Nazir. Who is a Nazir? A Nazir is a person, though the Torah doesn't actually tell us why he does this, but we can offer some ideas. He takes a vow, a Nazirite vow, and what this means is that this person, male or female, will not drink or eat any grape product, will not cut their hair, and will not come in contact with impurity through death, being in the presence of someone who has died. These are the three things of a Nazirite. And then we're told that when the Nazirite is done with their vow, it can be for a relatively short period or a longer period, then they bring certain offerings. And one of the offering is a sin offering. So the question is, why are they bringing a sin offering? They just took this vow, and we assume they took this vow because they felt it would help them reach a higher level of holiness. So what sin did they do? So we're told, the explanation of the sages, Rashi explains, that because they refrained from pleasures of this world, represented by drinking wine, they have to bring a sin offering. Now this seems very, very contradictory, because even though we're not told explicitly in the Torah, it's assumed that a reason that a person becomes a Nazirite is that either specifically they have a problem with drinking, or most likely, much more general, that they have a problem with discipline, with self-discipline. And they need some extra assistance to get themselves back on track. And so they refrain from drinking wine, which again represents the pleasures of this world, and also cutting hair, that they're less concerned with their appearance. So if that's true, why would they bring a sin offering from refraining from the pleasures of this world? So we have a very paradoxical situation here. But when we look at it carefully, we can see that there's actually two really complementary views in Judaism about physicality and materialism. And they're both true, but it takes a refined consciousness to be able to put them together. There is a certain strain in Judaism that is very wary of physicality. And there are scores of statements that we could find that back up this idea that the more we're involved in physical pleasure, the more we're involved in following our desires, our passions, the harder it is to live a holy life. But on the other hand, we have another strain or trend that encourages us to take advantage of all of the pleasures of this world. Not recklessly, not haphazardly, but in a holy way. That's why, for example, in many religions in the world, the the epitome of a holy person is someone who's celibate. This is very far from Judaism. In fact, the holiest person on the holiest day, the high priest on Yom Kippur, is only allowed to do the service if he's married. He can't do the service for all of Israel on Yom Kippur if he's not married. That's just an example. So here we have both trends. So we say, well, which one is right? The truth is they're both correct. And the Slonim Rebbe explains this in the following way. He says, to be holy and to learn to deal with the physical world, there are two stages. So the first stage is we have to learn to completely detach ourselves from the physical world. He doesn't say that we should detach ourselves. But in other words, let's say with food, he doesn't say you shouldn't eat. But we should learn to break our desires for food. Like if you're staring at that piece of chocolate cake for half an hour, right? And you're just like you just can't wait till they serve it. It's like you're not on top of a proper way to eat. Now, we should eat, and we should enjoy eating. But we first have to conquer our stomach ruling us. And it's the same thing with sexuality, the same thing with the use of money, the same thing with entertainment. All of these things, the Slonim Rebbe says, first break your attachment to it completely. And then you can use everything in the physical world and you can make it holy. But you can't do that until you first break your attachments. So bringing this back to the Nazir is both of these things are correct. In other words, the Torah offers this person who's struggling with getting a hold on the physical world or exercising any discipline by allowing them to take this vow in order, in a sense, to prove to them that they can do it. Sometimes we set a goal for ourselves, not so much for the goal, but just to prove to ourselves that we can do it, because we need to prove to ourselves that we can do it. Because we're lacking the self-discipline. And sometimes we just need to accomplish something to give us the confidence that we can now accomplish other things. But yet the Torah says that this person has to bring a sin offering in the end, so that we don't think that being a Nazir is the ideal. This sin offering is coming to show us that if you need to be a Nazir for a certain period of time, go ahead. But don't think that avoiding the physical world or avoiding the pleasures of the world is the ideal and the goal. And we can see this also in the shape of the Magen David. We brought this up a few weeks ago, because here we have two opposite triangles. The triangle that's going down represents the body, earth, physicality. The one going up represents the soul, spirituality. And we put the two triangles together, and they become inseparable. Because the soul needs the body, and the body needs the soul. And in our way of life, we don't look down on physicality, but we do realize that we have to refine it, take control of it, and lift it up. So we should all have a blessing to be able to balance the physical desires of this world, but in a holy way. Thanks for watching this Devar Torah. If you like what you heard, which I hope you did, please come to our YouTube station, our website, our Facebook, our blog, our Twitter, and take advantage of a plethora of Torah, of audio classes, videos, poetry, stories, music, word and gematria search. You'll find a lot there, and please share this with your friends. www.thetrugmans.com